Hello, YouTube. Good morning. God bless. Hope everybody's doing well. No one bites the dust in California. Sheriff found guilty of bribery and corruption and a whole slew of charges. It's funny how many of these sheriff and chiefs of police and deputies and chiefs and cops and all this other stuff are getting found guilty all of a sudden. ATF is falling apart because they can't enforce their gun rules. See, ATF wasn't designed to write laws, but yet they're trying to. DEA, Homeland Security, FBI, all of them are going to start going down one by one because they're enforcing tyrannical BS. You know, I'm not one for defund the police. I'm one for hold them accountable for what they're doing. If you got good cops that are being good cops, let the good cops be cops. Take the tyrannical bullies out of there. The corrupt bullies out of there. The ones that are uneducated, the ones that are fools. The ones that think that they have authority over you. Take those people out. I mean, you could almost find news articles. Well, you can't find news articles on mainstream media about this. Mainstream media ain't talking about this. They're talking about how bad the white people are. Hell, yeah, well, oh, what's her face on The View that compared white women as roaches. Good Lord. These people are dumb, man. They're really seriously dumb. See, the Democratic Party is scared to death because they're losing. Law enforcement is scared to death because they're losing favor. ATF is scared to death because they're going to lose their job. FBI can't be trusted anymore. They're scared to death because there's no respect for them anymore. No one cares about them. IRS and everybody else, they're corrupt. You know, it's funny how fast the government is starting to fall apart. Sitting back watching the corruption fall because it's all getting exposed. You know, you got Luciferians that are trying to push their junk through the government, through the school systems, and this stuff is starting to be exposed. It says in the Bible, what you do in the dark will be shown in the light eventually. It will come to light. What you do in the dark will come to light. Well, it's all starting to come to light. See, including Trump. I'm going to put Trump in there, even though I like Trump. I respect Trump. There ain't nobody on this world that's untouchable. It's all going to come to light. Either you're guilty or you're not guilty. And it's funny how Trump is beating everything that they saying that Trump is doing. They've been caught and guilty of doing. Law enforcement, the same thing. They're all the since we have this technology called smartphones, cameras, and everything else. It's actually bringing a lot of corruption to light. But yet, those people that are so busy trying to live this American dream that Hollywood has portrayed for years, they're burying their heads in the sand and they're not recognizing where corruption is. Corruption starts at local levels and goes on up. See, the federal government trickles the money down, and it goes down to your cities, to your councils, to all this stuff. Corruption. The billionaires. Where do you think they're getting paid? The billionaires are throwing the money at them. If you haven't recognized that they're paid off puppets, even Hollywood is paid off puppets. They're pushing all this gay agenda, this homosexuality. It's paid off puppets, man. To push and further their agenda. They're oh wait, their transhuman agenda. They want to put that microchip in you. They ain't gonna put a microchip in me unless I'm dead. I believe that's the mark of the beast that they're trying to get you to take. And if you've already taken the mark of the beast, well, I'm sorry. You better cut that thing out and repent to God. I'm telling you, man, all this stuff that they're doing for a reason. I don't know if you've ever noticed the black lights going up. I've actually looked into that. The black lights, the vaccine, so called gene therapy vaccine, has stuff in it called luciferase, a chemical that glows. It's a bioluminescent chemical. And law enforcement was actually the ones enforcing all these different rules, masks and all this other stuff. Slave masks. That's what that is. That's a slave mask. If you're wearing a mask, you're a slave to the system. And law enforcement is enforcing these tyrannical rules. They're not even laws, they're rules. Law enforcement is the foot soldiers of the tyrannical government. It's like when neo Nazis back in World War II took over. Hitler didn't go out there. No, Hitler was sitting up in his big old freaking mansion while his stooges was dying in the trenches. You think he cared about those people? No, he didn't care about those people. You think our government's going to care about anybody dying in the trenches? No, this is their agenda. You're seeing their agenda play out. You're seeing the satanic Luciferian agenda playing itself out. Everybody keeps talking about World War III. We're in World War III. We're in the information stage of World War III. If you haven't recognized that, we are at war, information war right now. We're in World War III. And you can't tell me it's not. This is a different type of war. Most wars are fought on a battlefront. Well, this battlefront is worldwide. Communists, socialists, and all these people are trying to take over the world and create a one world government. And the law enforcement is the foot soldiers. The military is the foot soldiers. I support our military because they're supposed to be here to protect and serve us and protect the country against other things. But yet they're being sent over to Ukraine to fight a war that we have no business fighting. They're being sent to God knows where, and then all of a sudden all of our equipment is left behind because of this bonehead Biden. It's how many billions of dollars got left behind? How many trillions of dollars have been given to Ukraine? If you haven't seen and woken up to the fact that their agenda to break America, to break America down and break us, is being played right now. The food crisis, the diesel crisis, the fuel crisis, period, is being played. Inflation. You had bimbo, blonde haired, wannabe blonde haired, black bimbo saying that inflation wasn't a word that we're using. It was only media and everybody else. It's funny how black people can get away with talking crap about white people, saying they're going to come and kill them and rape them and do all this other stuff, and they haven't gotten prosecuted for it. And yeah, if we say anything against the blacks, we're considered racist, homophobic. We're considered, this horrible person. But yet they're doing the same thing, but yet they're not, they're saying blacks can't be racist. See, racism is in the mind and the heart. You're hating somebody just because of this. You know? You're hating them because of their skin color, their ethnicity. I don't hate nobody. I just want everybody held accountable to the same laws, the same constitutional rights and freedom. This is BS, man. I've had on a couple of different apps had black people say that they're coming to kill me and going to steal everything I have, and they're going to rape my wife, and they're going to rape my daughter. They're going to hurt my granddaughter. They're gonna hurt my grandchildren. And they're black people saying this, and they're saying because I was white, they're doing this, or because I'm a Trump supporter, or because I believe in Make America Great, or some other reason. Heck, I've been banned on so many different apps. I'm surprised I'm not banned on this app yet because I've been speaking the truth. I don't have a big name, so a lot of people hasn't seen my videos yet. But I've been speaking the truth and I'm getting banned. Sheesh. I'm almost getting to be like Alex Jones, where I'm getting kicked off of every network I can find. Good Lord, they butchered Alex Jones. $1 trillion, really? Or $1 billion? They're trying to do a lawsuit for $1 billion. Isn't that in the Constitution? Unjustified? You know, a section in the Constitution says they can't do that. Cruel and unusual punishment. That would be considered cruel and unusual punishment, man. Taking $1 billion from somebody. See, these law enforcement agencies are paying out bigger and bigger amounts to shut people up and keep the narrative going that they're here to protect and serve, when the Supreme Court has ruled that they have no duty to protect and serve. So who's here to protect you? Your security is your own responsibility. You need to wake up to that. You law enforcement, it'd take law enforcement 20, 30 minutes to get out to us, probably. I mean, seriously, there's not enough cops out. If there was a big old problem out here, there's not enough cops out here to deal with big problems out here. They would have to call Amarillo or Pampa. I'm telling you, that would take them 15, 20, 30 minutes to get here. Maybe longer. I don't know. Good Lord. You have these cops that they honestly, seriously think it's their job to harass, collect, and just put people in jail. That's what their job is. That's exactly what they think their job is. That's not. You don't harass, and collecting revenue for a tyrannical government is not your job. It's putting actual criminals in jail. That's your job. Putting actual criminals, not making up charges just because somebody got your butt hurt. Good Lord, man. I've seen so many false arrest videos where people are winning lawsuits. Well, the armed fisherman in Florida. Look him up. He's been beating law enforcement down almost on every video. They about killed him one day because they seen he had a gun. He was legally carrying, had his hands up, and they were ready to shoot him. See, cops are ready to shoot first, ask questions later. Too many people, or innocent people, have died exercising their constitutional rights, or been shot in the back. A young kid was trying to run away from cops because he was a young kid being dumb. Cop just shot him in the back. I mean, seriously? Cop didn't want to run, so he went pow pow. You know? Really? That was just settled. I know some of my other videos, I was letting them words fly, them wordy dirds, gone. I'm trying to keep this one clean of cuss words, but man, my brain is wanting to let them fly this time. So bad because too many videos are coming out about these sheriff deputies and people getting arrested for corruption, and about corruption. There's too many videos popping up. I wish there was more and more videos of cops that were awesome, but there's more. What the bad of law enforcement is outweighing the good. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, because you can't even trust their own videos that they put on the news because they redact it so much. They cut and clip and blur out and do all this stuff. It's not transparency. It's only what they want you to see. There's no transparency to that. No transparency. How is that transparency when you get a piece of paper back and it says beep 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 beep? You can't even read it. That's not transparency. I mean, come on. We want transparency. We want accountability. We don't want harass and collect and false arrest and beat and shoot and kill, and we don't want our 70-year-old people getting tased in their own doorway and getting hurt and killed. Hell, there was a retired cop, that female cop, hey, it was one of those checks where they go check on him, make sure welfare check, and female cop walked in and positioned herself just right, and because he was in his bedroom, he said, "No, go away, I'm fine," in his own bedroom. Come out with a gun because he didn't know who was in there, and she shot and killed him without a warrant. Walked in the house without a warrant. The Constitution does say, hey, you got to have a warrant before you walk in the freaking house. But no, cops think that they have the right to walk in the house, put their foot in the door. They think they have the right to force you to answer questions. They think they have the right to do all this stuff. Hell, they had that one blonde bimbo cop that was saying, I got the right to do 90 miles an hour. She was fired, thank God, because her attitude was stupid. I will pull you over. I will find a way to pull you over. I will find something on you if you don't get out of my way. And she went on a freaking tirade on TikTok or whatever it was. I'm glad she was fired because she doesn't need to be a cop. I've mentioned Pinell County, Arizona, that one deputy that was caught on camera saying he has a disdain for people like that want to exercise their constitutional rights. Constitutional right. I'm telling you, I've mentioned him several times. And that video is on the internet, on YouTube. So many of these cops think that they are totally above us. They have total authority over us. They don't. They don't have authority over us. Not till we commit a crime. An actual crime. See, they can't be the ones that trespass you either. They walk onto property and they say, well, I'm going to go solicit a trespass from the gas station owner. So you can't solicit a trespass because that's illegal. Cops can't be the complainant of a trespass. I don't care what they try to tell you. They can't be. That's why you record cops and you don't talk to them. Don't answer the questions. I mean, there's so many of us on the internet that's been saying this for years. Don't answer their questions. Don't record cops. Don't comply with searches and seizures. Don't comply with law enforcement at all. But yet law enforcement will tell you, hey, it's just easier if you comply. Yeah, it's easier to give up my rights, my freedom, so you can violate me. Might as well bend me over the hood. Yank my drawers down. I'm telling you. Telling you, man. I mean, too many people, cops think that they have a right to do whatever they want. Government thinks they have the right to do whatever they want, apparently. Making up laws, and the ATF, man, making up laws about a trigger. Or an arm brace for your gun. Or the fact that you can't put a stock on a gun, which an arm brace basically is a stock. It just had to be classified as something else. See, ATF's been making up rules about firearms for too dang long. I think if you can afford an automatic weapon, you should be able to have one. Personally, I think the Second Amendment, there is no rules to the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says the right to bear arms. It doesn't say, oh, you can only bear these kind of arms. See, law enforcement has been scared to death if we get that much power. Government is scared to death if we get that much power. See, government is scared. Democrats are scared right now. Liberals are scared right now because we're starting to wake up and we're starting to focus on what's actually going on in America. They're so scared to death that they don't want us to have concealed weapons. They don't want us to open carry our guns. Good Lord. And down around the border, that 100-mile BS that says around the border, that's the unconstitutional zone, or yeah, I call it the unconstitutional zone. They say that you don't have constitutional rights up to the border. Bull crap. This is still the United States of America, right? Then Border Patrol, there are videos of Border Patrol that thinks it's a joke to violate people. I had that one arrogant one that he was sitting there laughing the whole time. He pulled the dude over for no dang reason, claiming that the guy was trafficking, but the guy was just traveling. See, government takes your rights away from you and sells them back to you in the form of a license. That's how much bullshit. Ugh. How much bull there is. I'm trying so hard to keep the cuss words out of this one. But man, as much junk is going on in this world, you had these transgenders in New York or wherever that are joking and laughing about teaching kids, and they're calling themselves Reverend. You know, Reverend so and so transgender. No, God don't play games when it comes to his rules, his laws. God doesn't change. God is God. And God spoke against all this stuff that's going on. Why did Sodom and Gomorrah get destroyed? Because of this junk going on. Why did Rome fall? Because Rome fell because of this junk going on. We're starting to see America follow that same path. We may see the fall of America. I hope we don't, because this is the last stand of freedom and rights. And this is the last stand we got. We need to dig our heels in for everything that's right and just and honest. We need to dig our heels in and fight against corruption and Luciferianism and Satanism and all this other stuff that's going on, pedophilia and everything else. We need to dig our heels in and say to hands off our children. And law enforcement, if you protect them, you're guilty of by association, because they would hold us accountable and hold us guilty by association. So we need to hold them guilty by association. The same rules apply to them, to the government, to politicians and everything. Guilty by association. And if you're taking bribes from billionaires, from bankers and everybody else, from the UN, if you're calling in a foreign entity into our country, that's treason. And we need to stand up against it. We need to dig our heels in and tell the UN, not in our country. We need to tell the New World government, not in our country. We don't want it. We don't want your cryptocurrency. We don't want your bullshit. We don't want your one world money, one world finances. We don't want your one world rules and laws and transhumanism and all this other stuff going on. We don't want it. I don't want it. And I hope there's a lot of people that agree with me. I hope there's a lot of people agree with me. I want my freedom. I want my rights. I want my ability to live as an American, a free American. Because if we don't, we're going to be enslaved and we'll never get our freedom back. You got to wake up to that fact. God bless. Definitely have a good day. Hope you all well. Hope you all waking up. Because we can lose our freedom and our rights just as fast as we got them. I mean, just overnight, it could be gone if you don't wake up. Have a good day. God bless.